guys, so today I have swatches of some glam polishes. It's been quite a while since I've done a swatch video on glam polish. So this is the Gem and the Holograms collection. There are 10 polishes here altogether. Forgive me, I'm reading from an email. These are releasing on Friday, June 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which, if everything goes according to plan, should be 1 hour from the time that this video goes live. There is a little promo that they sent in the email, so I thought I would throw that in here as well. For the first 72 hours, $5 off of orders $50 or more with the code GEM5. I'll put it somewhere. And $15 off of orders $125 or more with the code GEM15, which will also be somewhere. And the normal pricing on these polishes is $12.50 each and $125 for the set. So these are all like neon crullies with holographic glitter and some shimmer, and then there is one like crazy glitter bomb in here as well. So 10 polishes altogether. I will link the Glam Polish website down below and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called Pizzazz, and this is a neon yellow with gold shimmer and little holographic micro glitters. So this one is pretty sheer on that first coat. You do get a good amount of glitter and that shimmer stands out pretty well. I'm being extra careful with this to try to make it as even as possible. I did have some issues evening it out when I was doing my swatch photos, so I'm being a little more careful here than I was there. And the formula on this one feels good, not too thick, not too thin. So the yellow base on this one does start to build up on that second coat, but it is still pretty sheer. This also does dry a little bit dull, so you will want top coat, and you're also going to have a little bit of texture from that micro glitter that's in there, so you'll want top coat to smooth that out as well. I feel like the more opaque that yellow base gets, the more that you lose that gold shimmer, but it is still there. You can definitely still see it. It's just not as obvious as when the base was really sheer on that first coat. So this one does build up a little bit more on that third coat. Still not completely opaque for me though. I can still see my nail line. By being extra careful with this though, I did manage to get it a lot more even than I got it when I did my swatch pictures. And again, you will want top coat to smooth this out. You might have a little bit of an issue getting some of that glitter off your nail. You might have to scrub a bit, but there's not a ton in there, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. So that is 3 coats of Pizzazz. The next polish is called Star Bright, and this is a baby blue with a pink shimmer and those little silver holographic micro glitters. So this one is also pretty sheer on that first coat. So far there's a good amount of glitter there, and that shimmer stands out pretty nicely. The shimmer will stand out better in this one after it's built up as well, because it's more of a contrasting color with pink against the blue base, where with Pizzazz it was kind of similar to the base color, gold and yellow. Good formula on this one as well. So the base on this one does start to build up a bit with that second coat, but it is still pretty sheer. The shimmer is still standing out pretty nicely. I do think it gets a little bit stronger once the polish is fully dry. And like the last one, this does dry a bit dull, so you will want top coat for that and also for the texture from that silver micro glitter. So the base on this one does build up pretty nicely on that third coat. I can still see a little bit of nail line, and I am doing just a slightly thicker third coat than I've done for the other two. And even after that base is built up, that pink shimmer does still stand out really nicely. So that is 3 coats of Star Bright. The next polish is called Video Wars, and this is a neon green with pink shimmer and those little tiny holographic micro glitters. So this one is also pretty sheer on that first coat. I think these shimmers are a little bit shifty. If I look at the corners, like the glass corners of the bottles, I can see them shifting to a slightly different color. Like this one, for example, I can see it shifting to a little bit of that orangey gold shade, but I haven't been able to pick that up on the nail just yet. And a good formula on this one as well. And I am trying to be very careful to make sure that it's even. So the base on this one does start to build up on that second coat, but it's still pretty sheer. The shimmer is standing out really nicely. It contrasts with the base color, so it's going to stand out pretty well. Definitely is stronger once everything is dry. And like all the other ones, this does dry dull, and you will have a little bit of texture from that glitter. So you do get even more of a green base out of that third coat, but you can still see some nail line. And I'm being very, very careful to make sure that I don't have any streaks or patches. And a little bit of a thicker third coat as well will help with that. So that is 3 coats of Video Wars. The next polish is called One Gem Too Many, and this is a neon pink. The next polish is called One Gem Too Many, and this is a hot pink curly base with what looks like a blue shimmer. It's actually kind of hard to tell if it's blue or green because the base is so bright. And then it also has those holographic silver micro glitters. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat. This one is much easier to even out than a lot of the lighter colors have been, and good formula on this one as well. So this one does start to build up pretty well on that second coat. I can still see a little bit of nail line, but it's not terrible, and it is pretty even. And this does dry dull and slightly textured like all the other ones. So this one builds up almost completely on that third coat. I can still see a little bit of nail line here. It is pretty minor, but if you have whiter nails than mine, it will obviously stand out a bit more. The shimmer that's in here you can definitely see, but there isn't really a distinct color that comes out. I think that's just because the base is so bright. So that is 3 coats of One Gem Too Many. So the next polish is called Glitter and Gold, and this is a very bright neon coral curly base with gold shimmer and those little silver holographic micro glitters. So this one is a bit sheer on that first coat. Like the pink, this one is a lot easier to even out than the yellow and the green were. And good formula on this one as well. So the base on this one does start to build up on that second coat. There is still a bit of nail line showing. And like all the other ones, this one does dry a bit dull and will be a little bit textured. So this one does build up pretty well on that third coat. Like the hot pink, I keep saying the pink, but there's another pink coming after this. Like the hot pink, the last one. Why can't I remember? One Gem Too Many. That's the name of it. Anyway, like that one, I can still see a little bit of nail line. It's pretty subtle, but it is there. And that gold shimmer that's in here actually stands out really well against this coral base. It doesn't really blend into the base at all. So that is 3 coats of Glitter and Gold. The next polish is called Twilight in Paris, and this is a darker pink. Here it is next to One Gem Too Many, so you can see the difference. This also has a blue shimmer and those silver holographic micro glitters. So we're getting into darker colors, so they're going to start building up a lot better and just being generally more opaque from the get-go. So this covers pretty well on that first coat. It is a jelly base, so it is still a bit sheer. And that blue shimmer is going to stand out really well against this base color. And good formula on this one as well. So this one gets a little bit more opaque and a little bit darker pink with that second coat. And that blue shimmer is going to be a little bit more apparent once that base gets darker. Although I am noticing that the shimmer is a lot more obvious once everything is fully dry. And that glitter is building up as well. So I don't see a huge change in this one between 2 and 3 coats. This color is pretty bright, so it's not picking up well on camera, at least not from what I can see in the viewfinder, but there is still a pretty good amount of nail line showing. And this one does dry slightly dull and will dry a bit textured, so you will want top coat. So that is 3 coats of Twilight in Paris. The next polish is called Under My Spell, and this is a teal curly base with a red shimmer and those silver holographic flakes. This color, I feel like, always shows up more blue than it is in person on camera. So I'm going to try to adjust the picture, but if they look a little off, the picture is more correct because this is a little bit more green in person. So this one is pretty sheer on that first coat. I know we're only 1 coat in, and it really doesn't say what it's going to look like after 3, but the shimmer is standing out pretty nicely so far, and good formula on this one also. So this one does start to build up a bit on that second coat. The glitter is really building up. And like the other ones, this one does dry a bit dull. So this one does get a little bit more opaque on that third coat. If I look very closely, I can see some nail line, but it's really minor with this one. And that red shimmer is standing out really nicely as well. So that is 3 coats of Under My Spell. The next polish is called Rio, and this is the warmer, more ready of 2 purples. This one has a gold shimmer and then that silver holographic micro glitter. So this one is a bit sheer on that first coat. Pretty even though. And good formula on this one also. So this one does start to build up pretty nicely on that second coat. That gold shimmer is standing out really well. And like the other ones, this one does dry dull and will be a bit textured. So this one does get a little bit deeper still on that third coat. And I can't see any nail line on this one at all. And with that color as deep as it is, that shimmer stands out really well. So that is 3 coats of Rio. The next polish is called Midsummer Night's Madness, and this is the cooler, more bluey purple. Here it is next to Rio, so you can see the difference. And this one also has a red shimmer and those silver holographic glitters. I keep wanting to call them flakes. They are glitter. So this one is a bit sheer on that first coat. So far that shimmer is standing out pretty nicely. I think that will only get better as the base color gets deeper. And good formula on this one also. So this one does start to build up on that second coat. I can still see a little bit of nail line, but the base does get much deeper. And this one does dry dull and will dry a bit textured. So this one gets even deeper on that third coat. I can't see any nail line here after 3 coats either, and that red shimmer is standing out really well. So that is 3 coats of Midsummer Night's Madness. And the last polish is called Abracadabra. This is a holographic base. You can also see some little holographic micro glitters in there that are a little bit larger than the particles that make up the base, if that makes any sense. It almost looks like there's a bit of a gold shimmer to it, but I might be imagining that. And then there are orange, pink, green, blue, and yellow neon glitters scattered throughout here as well. Now this is totally sheer enough to be used as a topper if you wanted to, but it's also dense enough to build up on its own. So that's how I wanted to show it. A bit sheer on that first coat. Good formula though. You do get a good amount of glitter out as well. So this one does start to build up on that second coat, but you can still see through it a bit. Now this has some significantly chunky glitter in here, so you are definitely going to want top coat to smooth it out. And it is for sure going to be difficult to remove. You're going to have to scrub that glitter off of the nail if you don't use a peel-off base coat. So I did do a little bit of, I guess, spot treatment, added a few more glitters to this nail off camera. For some reason I just didn't get as much glitter out in the first dip in the bottle, so that one nail was looking a little bare. And looking really closely at this polish, I really don't think I need this third coat. There is some nail line. You can see through the holographic a bit if you look closely, but it's very, very minor, and I'm not sure that it's worth adding the thickness of a third coat when you're already going to need a good thick top coat to smooth everything out on top of it. But to be fair, this third coat does completely cover up the nail line. So that is 3 coats of Abracadabra. Okay, so the lighter shades in this collection were all a bit sheer. They all had their own level of sheerness to them after 3 coats. Even that being said, I still think One Gem Too Many is my favorite because it's super bright pink. But if I'm going into the darker colors, which were the more opaque ones, then Midsummer Night's Madness is going to be my favorite because I think that red shimmer contrasts really, really well against the purple base. So that is the Gem and the Holograms collection. I will link the Glam Polish website down below. Those are releasing June 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.